What's going on, everyone? So, Klay Thompson to the Los Angeles Lakers is really starting to gain some traction here. So, the Golden State Warriors are expecting Klay Thompson to leave. Klay Thompson wants out. Warriors do not want to pay him. There's even reports that even if he can't get the money that the Warriors offered elsewhere, he's still leaving just because he feels kind of slighted, like you guys clearly don't value me. So, because a lot of people I've seen, like, why would he take, $15 million over here when the Warriors are offering him more? And it's like, because again, it's pride. It's like, dude, look at what all I've done for you. Like, and you're not willing to pay me, but you pay Draymond, you pay all these other guys, but you're not willing to give me something when I'm still a big piece, right? Like, so I understand the frustrations, right? But with that brings the Los Angeles Lakers, right? Because he has ties. Dad played and works for the Lakers, right? He grew up in the Lakers facility, right? Laker fan, all that stuff. Now he is linked to other places. Dallas is a real threat to land Klay Thompson, and now the Warriors are looking to sign and trade Klay Thompson. Also, they missed out on Paul George. They were actively trying to go get Paul George, but Paul George has officially opted out of his contract. So now it basically makes it nearly impossible for the Warriors to end up landing Paul George. They'd have to do some crazy configuring. So more likely than not, they're out on Paul George. So at this point, they're looking for whatever the best return is for Klay Thompson. And on the list of teams that the Warriors are willing to trade, the Lakers are on that list. So it's the Orlando Magic, the Dallas Mavericks, and the Los Angeles Lakers are the three teams that are linked to Klay Thompson for a potential kind of sign and trade type thing. Couple problems, though. If it's a sign and trade, that would hard cap the Lakers. Now, the Lakers need to do a trade. Their roster's basically full, right? Because everyone opted in. Like, even the guys that people didn't think would opt in. I mean, I kind of thought everyone would opt in, and they all kind of did, because I just, like, where are they going to go elsewhere that they're getting more of? So the Lakers are going to have to make some type of trade, like, regardless. And so Klay Thompson, like, sure, like, I would love to have Klay. I don't think he's the guy he once was, but he's still excellent. I mean, he's still 18-point-a-game guy. He still shot nearly, 38. I think he was like 38% from three off the top of my head, right? He's still a constant threat off ball. In any game, he could go and just drop 30. I know a lot of people have like recency bias because he went like, 0-11 and had a terrible play-in game, right? But it happens. Right? Again, he's not the same player he once was, but no one's asking him to be. He understands what he is. And with the Lakers, you wouldn't need Klay Thompson to be your second best player. On the Warriors, they don't have another guy. Right? It's like Andrew Wiggins, Klay Thompson, and occasionally Kuminga, but he can be inconsistent at times, and then Steph Curry, right? Steph Curry doesn't have that clear-cut number two guy. Right? So they need Klay. Like, when Klay's bad, the Warriors usually lose. When Klay's good, the Warriors usually win because he's supposed to be their second guy. He's not that anymore. Him coming to the Lakers, he's probably like your fifth, maybe sixth guy, right? Because, like, let's say the Lakers go and pull it off. Bare minimum, you're going to have LeBron, AD, and Austin Reeves. So at worst, Klay is now your fourth option. And his ability to constantly be a threat off ball, and teams have to be glued to him. And think of the type of looks he would get playing alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis and all the attention that they draw. I mean, look at like guys like Taurean Prince. I mean, D'Lo just had a historic season shooting the basketball because like half of his attempts were just wide open. Right? Klay's still one of the best three-point shooters in the league. He's still, like I said, an 18-point-a-game guy who doesn't need the ball in his hands, right? Who doesn't need a bunch of dribbles, who doesn't need to create his own shot. So he's not going to take away from a LeBron and AD and Austin Reeves and whoever else you get, right? Like because LeBron's willing to kind of clear for the full mid-level exception, right? Depending on what that piece is. Like, let's say you get DeMar DeRozan, right? Let's say because I mean, the market's not a lot of teams with cap space. Not a lot of teams that are going to be giving DeMar a bag, right? So, and Chicago looks like they're ready to hit the reset button and are willing to let him walk. So, if that's the case, I don't know who's going to give him much more than $13 million a year. So, but let's just say for argument's sake, let's say the Lakers land DeMar, right? You could bring Klay off the bench, and then you can even run sets at times where like you have Reeves, DeMar, Klay, LeBron, and AD on the court. Like, good luck. I mean, they'd probably drop 150, right? Because like, how do you guard all those guys? Right? Like, you can't stay in front of all those guys. All those guys can put the ball on the deck. All those guys, can shoot the ball. I know DeMar doesn't shoot a lot of threes, but he shoots a lot of deep twos, right? And LeBron, if he could stay 40%, again, I defensively, that would be a struggle. So, like, I wouldn't want to start that. But I'm saying, like, mid-second quarter, right? Throw that out there. Like, hey, man, let's go, let's go create some separation in this game a little bit, right? Like, so the ideas are there. And which is good because it kind of brings this excitement back. Right? It's been kind of like we could use a W here. We could use a little win here, right? And so the thing is, though, is that like I'm sure one it's going to come down to Klay, right? What does Klay want? Is he open to basically all three teams? Is he open to going to Orlando? Is he open to going to Dallas? Is he open going to Lakers? Does he have a preference? Right? Does he really want to go East because he thinks it's a better opportunity for him to win another championship, or maybe Orlando's willing to pay him more, right? So, like, there's a lot of factors that go into it, right? How much is the Lakers and home factor, right? Because, one, he has place in LA, right? Like, or like in the area of LA, right? So he already has it out here. He has the family ties. He has the connections. I mean, he grew up a Laker fan. He doesn't have to leave the state. He's just going down the road, right? He's taking like an hour flight, if that, and he's home, right? Like, so there is some advantages that the Lakers have in the pursuit of Klay, but how much does he value those things is the question, right? What is he looking to gain? It's clearly not just about money. Because if it was just about money, he would stay with the Warriors. Because even the Warriors, like, he's not getting what he wants from the Warriors, but he's getting about as good as anyone else would give him, right? And, if it's close, the Warriors they're probably not going to sweat. Like, let's say Orlando's like, oh, well, we'll pay you the same amount. I'm sure if he went and like, hey, they're willing to pay the same, I'm just going to go to them unless you bump it. I'm sure they'd be like, okay, we'll give you an extra $2 or $3 million a year, right? So he might be able to suck out a little more, right? No, did he? But like, yeah, it's like, again, so clearly he does. It's not just solely the value of money, but you could also make the argument that like, it's not. I mean, obviously he wants to win. He's a competitor, right? But he has his championships, so it's not like he absolutely like, and he's not one of those, like, I mean, he's all-time great, don't get me wrong, but he's not one of those, like, top guys where another ring or two, all of a sudden we're talking about Klay Thompson being one of, if not the greatest players. Like, it's not that. Like, if Steph wins another championship or two, now you're talking about it, like, is he top 5 all-time, right, type of thing. If Klay could win another 4, and everyone would just be like, oh man, good for him, right? Like, it's a different conversation. And I'm sure Klay is aware of that. I'm sure Klay is an understanding. But I think he can be a very valuable, very good, very impactful piece still. As long as he's not your main guy, right? But also, it's how much you have to pay him. Because, I mean, if he's your 4th, 5th guy, and you're paying him $20 million a year, right? Like, again, like, Klay is good, but like, if you can get him for like 15, right? To me, that's a no-brainer. Like, if you can get Klay, like, if you can work something out to where you're landing Klay for $15 million, you can clear off some salary, clear off, a little bit, a couple roster spots, because again, the Lakers roster is basically full. So if you can kind of take, I don't know, if you could take like Gabe Vincent, Jalen Hood-Schifino, Jackson Hayes, and Cam Reddish, and ship them to one team or whatever. Because, like, the Warriors are also, like, they're an apron team. So, it's, like, it gets very complicated, right? But, like, if you can work something out to where guys are getting sent out, you're clearing a little money off your books, you're clearing a couple roster spots, you're bringing in Klay, LeBron takes a discount to free up the full mid-level exception, and now you could go and get another piece, right? Let's say it's DeMar DeRozan, and then now you're signing a Valanciunas and you're signing whatever, something else. Start looking at the roster and you're like, wait a minute. Like, Lakers are back, baby. Right? It's like, man, you got like Austin Reeves, DeMar DeRozan, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Klay Thompson, Valanciunas, right? And it's not like that far-fetched, right? Because, I mean, yeah, it'd be a bit of an older team, but like, they're still all good. Not like Valanciunas is trash, right? It's not like DeMar DeRozan hasn't been a top, 10 closer in the league this year. The last 5 years, he was like number 1 2 years ago. Like, it's not like he's not still a 20-plus point a game guy. It's not like Klay is now a bum and can't shoot anymore. He's still a 18 point a game guy shooting. He'd be our best shooter immediately coming to the Lakers, right? Like, so again, if you could kind of start piecing things together, not a bad place. If I'm being honest, though, I wouldn't get my hopes up on Klay. To me, it's kind of one of those things like, if it happens, great, let's go. We'll celebrate it. We'll talk about it. Be a good time. But more likely than not, I think he'll probably go to like a Dallas, or he'll probably go to like Orlando, because I just think that they'll be able to pay him more. And is it worth hard capping the Lakers for? It's another problem, right? Is it worth the Lakers hard capping themselves to go get Klay? Like, I don't think Klay by himself, all of a sudden the Lakers are a contender, right? I think it makes them a lot better, right? Definitely. But I don't think Klay is so good still. Like, if this was prime Klay, yes, right? Like, he can defend the best player on the other team and go give you 25 to 30 every night, right? And shoot 45% from three. Playing alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis, good luck, right? Like, good luck beating them, right? So I do think he's more of like that fourth guy, right, on a very good team. But I do think you need other pieces. And I think Klay is best at the two, right? A big problem has been his defense, but he's also been playing the three almost primarily, like solely his position at this point. Where I think he's still best at the two. I actually think he would be much better defensively playing the two, because like, look at most of the two guards in this league, right? Outside of like Anthony Edwards, I mean, most of them are like, Desmond Bane and stuff like that, where it's like, okay, like he could stay in front of those guys, right? But him having to defend these quicker, twitchier, athletic, bigger wings, it's like, yeah, he's having a hard time, right? He can't move the way he used to. So anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Best question. You let me know. What do you think? What are your thoughts? How do you feel? Do you like the idea of Klay Thompson? Do not. If whatever your thoughts are, let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Helps me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.